Hello, my name is Bob Wiedefeld, and I'm a professor at Prince George's Community College. And you're watching this because you are enrolled in one of my 4 courses for the spring 2013. The purpose of today's video, which I intend to keep very short, is to communicate with you with regard to some of your textbook options. Textbook prices are outrageous, as I'm sure you know. So I'm going to try to give you some information today that will help you secure your textbook for our course together and to do it as cheaply and yet as quickly as possible. I will go through the 4 courses that I'm teaching this spring. You obviously, because you're here, are registered for one or more of those courses. Once I discuss the textbook for your particular course, you can sign off. There won't be anything of any interest to you unless, of course, you have more than one course with me. The first course that I'd like to make you aware of is BMT 2650, which is Purchasing and Supply Management. The textbook for this course is entitled Purchasing and Supply Management. Looks like this. All right. Now, if you go to the bookstore, and by the way, you can go to the bookstore online by Googling Prince George's Community College Bookstore and then clicking on the link that says Buy Textbooks. And you'll see a page that asks you to put in the spring 2013 term. And then it's going to ask you to put into a rectangular box either the title, the ISBN number, or the author. The title would be fine. If you do that with this particular textbook, again, for the purchasing course, Purchasing and Supply Management, you'll find that they have no record of any textbook there. I don't know that that means that they don't have a book in the bookstore, but it's not listed online. But I can tell you that it's expensive. And by the way, this particular book is the 14th edition. We will be using the 14th edition, regardless of what the newest edition might be. We'll be using the 14th edition of Purchasing and Supply Management by Johnson, Leanders, and Flynn. Now, if you go to Amazon, Amazon lists this text in the 14th edition for rent $55.25, brand new $134.03, and used $102.94. And as I said, the bookstore at Prince George's doesn't list this text at all, so I have no idea what they're charging, but I can guarantee you it's a lot more than those prices. Whether you want to rent or buy new or used from online or from the bookstore, regardless, you need to get a hold of your book as quickly as possible. If you go to Amazon, or there are a number of other textbook sites that are specifically there for college students to either buy or to rent textbooks, regardless of how you decide to do it, you need to get a hold of the textbook immediately. Class starts on Tuesday. Today is Thursday, the 17th. Class starts on Tuesday, the 22nd. The first week is a shorter week because of the holiday. Even though your assignments will be posted by early Monday morning, you need to begin reading immediately. If you decide to buy, rent your textbook from an online store, many times you can get the textbook for a price, and you can overnight the textbook to you for significantly less than what the bookstore is charging for your textbook. So you need to consider this. So time is of the essence, and you want to save as much money as possible. Okay. My 265 students, purchasing and supply management students, can log off now. There won't be anything left of interest to you. The next course is Business Management 1900, and that's the Introduction to Public Administration. That particular textbook is called The Politics of the Administrative Process, and it looks like this. It's by Donald F. Kettle, K-E-T-T-L. It is listed, trying to get it centered there on the picture. It is listed on the bookstore, and by the way, this is the 5th edition. The bookstore is advertising the 5th edition of this textbook. Give you one more quick look at it. Donald F. Kettle, Kettl, the Politics of the Administrative Process, 5th edition. Okay, the bookstore at Prince George's Community College is listing this book new at $99.95, used at $74.96, and you can rent it from the bookstore for $50. However, if you go to Amazon, the same book, 5th edition, new is $58.06 as opposed to $99 at the bookstore. Used is $52.94 as opposed to the bookstore at $75. And you can rent the book from Amazon for $29.91 as opposed to $50 at the bookstore. So there's a significant savings there. The next course, and those of you in my public administration course can log out now if you're not in any more of my courses. The next course is Personal Finance, Business Management 1620. We will be using a different edition of the textbook than the bookstore is selling. I will tell you that right now. The textbook we will be using looks like this. I have trouble getting it centered. There you go. It is called Personal Finance, Turning Money into Wealth. It's by Arthur J. Cowan. Okay, and we will be using, as you can see above the title, the 5th edition of this textbook. The bookstore is selling the 6th edition, and I'll tell you in a minute why we're using the 5th edition. So that's Personal Finance, Turning Money into Wealth, Arthur J. Cowan, the 5th edition. The bookstore, believe it or not, is charging $213.05 for the 6th edition brand new. They're charging $160 used, and to rent it, they're charging $120. Amazon, on the other hand, for the 5th edition, the edition that we are using, is charging $53.58 new, as opposed to $213 in the bookstore. Used, they're charging on Amazon $20.49 as opposed to $160 in the bookstore. And Amazon does not list a rental, although there may be other websites that you can where you can rent this textbook. So I have decided, because the new price, especially at the bookstore, is so exorbitant for the 6th edition, I have decided that we will use the 5th edition of the book, and you should go to you should shop around on the internet and get the best price that you possibly can. If by some chance, don't get all upset, it's not the end of the world. If by some chance you have purchased the book at the PGCC bookstore and you have broken the seal on that book, you're not going to be able to return it. You're stuck. So keep it. You'll be able, they don't change, the editors don't change that much with a new edition. So you'll be able to follow through with your new textbook, even though it costs you a lot of money, with the topics. You'll just have to look around a little bit more in case they've changed the position of the topics in the textbook. That should not be difficult for you. The other text in Management 1620, Personal Finance, is entitled The Richest Man in Babylon. There we go. The Richest Man in Babylon, the success secrets of the ancients. It is by George S. Clason. It is not an expensive book. This book, as you can see, is a little bit larger than a normal paperback. I've seen students get a paperback in a used bookstore for $1 or less. It is not an expensive book. It should be available everywhere. It should be available in public libraries. It may take you a little bit longer than 2 weeks to read it, but that's up to you. You will be required to read this book cover to cover, and there will be a short essay that's going to be assigned to you about 2/3 of the way through the course. Okay? Again, go to the cheapest place you can, and you can also order it online, although the shipping will probably cost you more than the book will. For those of you in my Management 162 course, you can log out now unless you are also registered in my Global Marketing course. Now the Marketing 2630, Global Marketing, I believe it's called International Marketing in the catalog. The textbook is also called Global Marketing. And it is by, get this straight, Global Marketing by, it's the second edition, and they're at the top. There they are. Gillespie, Jeanette, and Hennessy. So it's Global Marketing by Gillespie, Jeanette, and Hennessy, and it's the second edition. Now notice, up in the corner, the word global has a blue box. Okay, that's the one to look for online. Global Marketing with the blue box in the upper left-hand corner. The bookstore, this blows my mind. The bookstore is selling this book, the third edition of this book. We will use the second edition. They're selling the third edition of this book for $294.53, as opposed to Amazon, where you can buy a new book, the second edition that we're using, you can buy it for $28.47. It's listed as new, as opposed to $300 in the bookstore. The bookstore is charging $221 used. Amazon is charging $10.69. And the bookstore to rent is $209.11, and Amazon does not list this book for rent. So as you can see, you can save an enormous amount of money online for these particular texts, as opposed to buying. I don't have anything against the bookstore at the college. Very nice people, wonderful people. But you need to save some money. The course itself has cost you a lot of money. You shouldn't have to spend any more on the text than necessary. So I very strongly urge you, or certainly recommend, that you shop online for your textbooks. Make certain that you pay attention to what I've said in this video with regard to the edition that we are using. In some of my courses, I'm using the same edition that they're offering in the bookstore. In other courses, I'm offering one older edition than they're offering in the bookstore. Although, if you've bought the book in the bookstore, it's not going to hurt you. As I said before, you'll just have to look a little bit more in the textbook for the material. It won't be presented in the same order as the textbook that I've decided to use. I will be communicating with you, trying this out. This is new this semester. I'll be communicating with you via video as frequently as I possibly can. Any questions that you have about this video or about the course, if you log into the course and you look on the left-hand side of the course, you'll see a link that says discussion board. If you click on the discussion board, you'll see a link that says questions for the professor. Just go ahead and click on that. Write the question that you have for me, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can via answer to that question on the website for your particular course. Thank you very much, and good luck.